All right, last week was power steering pump. This weekend it's the power steering gearbox replacement. And it's not a bad job. In fact, it's a pretty easy job. Pull this sleeve back to gain access to that steering shaft bolt right there. Pull that bolt right there out so you can get the shaft off of the gearbox. These two power steering lines, take them loose at the gearbox, of course, and then 3 main bolts that hold on the gearbox. That's those 3 bolts right there. And that's pretty much it. All right, gonna get to work. Now don't forget, when you're doing this steering gear replacement, you gotta use a pitman arm puller to get your pitman arm off of your steering gear. I almost forgot about that. And I'd already borrowed the tool from AutoZone actually. But yeah, here we go, continuing on. Already got my steering gear bolts all loosened up. Got one of them out. And I'm saving my lines for last because of the dripping liquids everywhere and whatnot. I'll save that for last. All right, changing this power steering gearbox on my OBS. Once you get your main 3 bolts loose from your steering gearbox and take your shaft bolt out, steering column shaft bolt out, pry the shaft up off of the steering gearbox, use your pitman arm puller, and pull off the arm attached to your steering gearbox. And then you can remove your power steering lines. And I always lift mine up, use a coat hanger to strap them up higher than the power steering pump so they don't keep leaking all over the place, all your fluid out of the power steering pump. Plus it makes a mess. And then just lower your gearbox out and into a pan like I've done here. Turn it upside down, let it drain out, because you're going to be shipping it back and get your core charge on it. And fixing to reverse the procedure. Put this new one in. Ready to go in. I got my new one from AutoZone. It's a Duralast product. They remanufacture them out of Mexico by a place called True Grade. And everybody's had problems with $700 ones and cheap ones like this. So, you know, it is what it is. It all depends on who builds it and how good a job they do. Mine was $161.99 with a $40 core charge. And that's pretty daggum reasonable on these steering gearboxes. And I'm gonna try it and cross my fingers and hope it all works out good for me. And time to get her back going. One thing to note when you're going back with your new gearbox, on your old one, there's a seal. This right here, it's a dust seal. It goes around your steering gear shaft. That's the one the pitman arm hooks to. If your new one, or your remanufactured one rather, doesn't come with one, then just carefully pry this one out of the old one. Clean the grease off of it a little bit, and then put it on your new one, and just press it down into place like so, and you'll be good to go. I got mine back together, checked for leaks, bled the fluid. Just move your steering wheel back and forth a couple of times, shut it off. Wait 5 minutes for all your bubbles to dissipate and whatnot, and then add fluid to it. That works good. 2 or 3 times, you should be good.
And mine all worked out good, no leaks,